Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today's video is going to be a review of Shadow by Kara Swanson. This is possibly the most awkward video I've ever filmed because my roommate is currently in the room. Stop laughing. Yeah, my roommate is in the room, so this is gonna be a lot of fun. But anyway, I'm gonna try to go through it quickly. Shadow is the sequel to Dust and the second and final book in the Heirs of Neverland duology, and I finished it this morning. So let's get into my thoughts about the plot. I think I can give this plot 5 out of 5 stars. It took me a little while to really get invested, but the entire last third or even half of the book just had me on the edge of my seat. Like, I loved it. It was one adventure after the next, and you didn't really know what was going to happen, and you kept thinking, like, oh, this can't possibly happen. They're going to manage to fix everything before this, and then that thing happens, like, several times. So it was just a constant, like, nervous adventure of trying to figure out how it's going to end and how they're going to fix everything after it seems like there's no way to fix everything. There were, like, 3 instances, I think, where I just thought, you know, this is the end. How are they going to come back from this? So that was really, really good. And there's also deeper meaning within the story. It definitely has ties to, like, mental illness, which I probably wouldn't have pulled out quite so much until the end, except that I saw somebody else say that, and then I picked up on that throughout pretty much the whole book, the ties to mental illness, and that was just really beautiful, really wonderful. There is a lot of sadness, though, so beware and be warned. The characters definitely get 5 out of 5 stars. Peter was masterfully written again. He was my favorite in Dust. I have never really seen him done better. Yes, Peter is supposed to be a lot younger, but everything, like every movie, every retelling has him at pretty old. So, and there are other reasons in this book why he is so old, and I just think he is so well done. I loved Peter again. I did also love Claire, but I really loved the chapters that were from Peter's perspective, and I would have been totally happy if every single chapter had been from his perspective. And the final chapter from Claire's perspective was really, really sweet and, like, perfect. I loved that. The mystery character was a very interesting addition, and this character played their role very well. Yeah, very interesting. I never would have thought of that, really, especially the way that this character, like, what this character is. I never would have thought of that, even if I had come up with the idea of this character, if that makes sense. I'm trying to be vague so I don't give things away, but yeah, very interesting addition. Hook, who has been a favorite of mine ever since the Peter Pan segment in Once Upon a Time, he got what he deserved, and I was very happy with what he got, and that is all that I will say there. Now, I really loved Hook in the first book, and I loved him again in this book as well. And I'm super happy with what Kara Swanson did with him, because he's a favorite of mine, so I loved Hook in this series. I also have a soft spot for Lost Boys, and so the time that we got with the Lost Boys was treasured for sure. Yeah, some, like, really happy times throughout the duology, but even in this book, some happy times and also some very sad times, but love the Lost Boys, always love them. And for our favorite warrior princess, Tiger Lily, she has a very satisfying story. Like, all of them, really, at the end, the ending was just so beautiful and so satisfying. Like, I didn't want to leave the world, so it was done super well, and I really loved all of the characters again. Oh, and Connor, we got to see a lot more of Connor in this book, of course, and wow, what Kara Swanson did with him was very unexpected and just keeps you on your toes, and it was interesting, and I loved it. So I love the characters. And with that, let's move into my thoughts about the writing. I think I'm going to start being a lot harsher when it comes to my grading of writing. Being a self-proclaimed writing snob and all, I tend to give a lot of 4-star and 5-star, like a lot of 5-star for writing, and I feel like I shouldn't, because 5-star should be reserved for the writing that just completely blows me away. And that doesn't happen super often, so I feel like 5-star should just be, like, super special. Maybe I'll make a special tier, like 6-star or something. I don't know. But for now, it's gonna be 5-star is super special. So 4-star is, like, above average. And then 3-star is like, okay, I didn't hate it, but it could have been better. Yeah, so for this book, I give the writing 3 stars, or maybe 3.5 stars, because really, I really didn't mind it as much in Shadow. Like, in Dust, it kind of drove me nuts, just because Kara Swanson hit on multiple pet peeves of mine, and so that always drops it a bit when those pet peeves get hit. Like for anybody, you have pet peeves, and that just like it's bias. Yes, it's totally biased, but it alters the way that you view something. So yeah, the writing in Dust really annoyed me. It didn't so much in Shadow, but she still hit that pet peeve. And then I think that Kara Swanson has a very poetic way of writing, so it is very beautiful a lot of times, but it's also poetic in this way that I feel should stay in poetry. It's the type of poetry that, to me, for me, does not belong in novels. And again, this is totally just my thoughts, my opinion, totally biased. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean Kara Swanson's a bad writer, because she's not. She's a great writer, and she created this wonderful story, wonderful world, wonderful characters. Like, amazing. I mean, she took Neverland from, the original story, but she made it her own, and I think it was beautifully done. It's just there are things about her writing that are not for me specifically. So, yeah, she does have a lot of beautiful imagery, and that's wonderful, but there are just instances where it feels more like poetry or prose, not a novel. But anyway, so that's why I put it at 3.5 stars, because it wasn't spectacular to me, and I'm trying to be a little bit harsher. I am a writing snob, okay? I happily admit that. I'm a writing snob, and I know I'm not right about everything, so I don't have to be right about it, but in my opinion, that's what this channel is for, is my opinions. So there we go. 3.5 out of 5 stars for the writing. Okay, now for the title tie-in. There was no wow moment for the title tie-in, but it was a really incredibly suiting title. Dust and Shadow have been perfect for these books. I don't have much for a content guide. It's pretty clean YA, which is really appreciated because YA nowadays can be kind of a gamble, but these books have been super, super clean. In Shadow, there is some kissing and a lot of blood. So if you don't like blood, just consider carefully, because yes, there's a lot of blood in this one. Also, the mental illness, if that's something that like really triggers you, you might just want to look into a little bit more what the mental illness is and how it's referenced and things. I don't really know how much to say about that. I don't think I can say a ton, but yeah, those are just the things that I would put for a content guide. So for my takeaway thoughts, I'm probably going to end up just reading exactly what I wrote, because I put thought into this, but okay, so I will come right out and say that I didn't expect to love this book as much as I did. While I loved the idea in Dust, and I especially loved Kara Swanson's portrayal of Peter Pan, the first book just wasn't one of my favorites. Again, mainly because I'm a writing snob, and the writing bugged me just because it rubbed on that pet peeve. So when I received Shadow, when I got it in the mail, I ordered it. I pre-ordered it. So when it came in the mail, I was excited to finish the story and see what happened, but I also put off reading the book. So it still took me a little while to get really invested by the end of this book. Like, I loved it so much more than I thought I was going to. I loved getting to read another Peter Pan adventure, getting drawn into the world of Neverland. It's cozy. It's like a wonderful escape. It's another home in a way, and that's what Neverland was meant to be. That is what the original Neverland was supposed to be. And Kara Swanson, just her portrayal of Neverland is beautiful, and the whole story surrounding it was wonderful. I loved it. Man, this book made me cry. Like, by the end, it made me cry. It made me homesick for a world that isn't even real. Like, so homesick for Neverland. I wanted to just dive back in and read another Neverland story, or read Peter Pan. Like, I wish I'd brought the original Peter Pan with me, because I want to read that now. Or I want to even write my own Peter Pan retelling. I have no idea for a plot. Like, absolutely no ideas for a plot, but I just want to be in this world a little bit more. Neverland is it's such a special place. Like, I love Peter Pan and I love Neverland, so yeah, this book made me like so homesick for Neverland and made me just want to be in the world for so much longer. Yeah, so I'm tempted to write my own Peter Pan retelling just so that I can spend more time in the world and get lost in it and really make it mine. But for now, I will appreciate the world that J.M. Barrie originally created and that Kara Swanson gave a beautiful rebirth. I definitely recommend this for Peter Pan fans, so long as you're not super stuck in the original story. If you are open to new ideas and authors taking some new liberties while like keeping the heart of the story, then I totally recommend this, because that's what Kara Swanson does. She keeps the really important bits, and she keeps the heart of Neverland and the heart of Peter Pan and the heart of the story, but she adds in her own things and she gives it her own spin, and it was really wonderful. But definitely read Dust first because it's a duology and it's not one of those duologies that you can just jump into anywhere. Like there are some series where you can read the third book and it makes no difference, but this is a series where you have to read the first book first or you will be very lost. So definitely recommend, but read Dust and then Shadow. So that is my review of Shadow. I love this cover as well. That is one of my favorite things about the books is that they just have gorgeous covers. I wish I had Dust to show you, but that is packed away in New York, so long ways from where I am. I hope that you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give it a thumbs down, but let me know why in the comments and what I can do in future videos to improve. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. That would be awesome. Like and share with your friends. Comment down below who your favorite Peter Pan character is, whether it's an original character from the original story or a character that has been in some retelling. Like I love Fox from oh, what is this? What is it called? Is it Neverland? Oh my gosh, I can't remember what the movie is right now. I kind of think it's just Neverland. But anyway, I love Fox from that movie. I will look it up and put in the comments my favorites. Anyway, yeah, so it can be a favorite from a retelling or from a spin-off or from the original story. Who's your favorite character? Or if you have multiple, let me know because I have multiple. I will put them in the comments. And that's it for the video. So I hope that you enjoyed it and I will see you in the next one. And now I'm going to tell my roommate that she can stop hiding in the bathroom because I'm done. So, have a blessed day, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. No, don't look.
My bad, take two.
Ignore me. Completely ignore me for the next like 10 minutes. So Dust is the sequel and the final book in the Dust, or Dust, or Shadow. This is Shadow. And then I think, oh, headphones. Dude, okay. Oh, where was I? Okay. Oh boy. It's okay. This is gonna be hard, so it's okay.
Hello.
Okay. Writing. And then that was like perfect timing. I just finished a section. I have 2 sections left. Okay. What?
You look pretty.
Thank you.
I like your hair like that.
Thank you. Me too. Okay. Okay.